Have you ever forgotten something right after learning it? Maybe you studied hard, but couldn't remember anything. Feels frustrating and unfair, right? But what if you could train your brain to remember more and forget less? Today, I'll share 17 proven steps that will boost your memory fast. These steps are simple, but if you follow them, they will change the way you learn forever. So stay with me till the end. Step 1. Pay full attention. The most powerful way to remember anything is by focusing your complete attention on what you are learning right now. Our minds are often full of noise, worries, past thoughts, and daydreams that distract us. When your attention is divided, memory becomes weak and shallow. Imagine your memory as a room with one door. If it's half open with distractions, very little gets in. But open fully, everything enters. Paying attention starts with removing distractions. Don't keep your phone nearby. Put it away or turn it off while you read or study. Find a quiet space where no one interrupts. If you're studying at a desk, clear it. A clean space helps you focus and think clearly. Then bring your full mental focus to the task. Say to yourself, "This matters. I want to understand it." Your brain listens when you care. Try imagining you need to teach what you're reading. That mindset naturally makes you pay more attention and think more deeply while learning. Another useful tip: slow down. Reading fast often leads to shallow understanding. Give yourself time to reflect and understand each key idea fully. Ask yourself questions as you learn. Why is this important? Or how does this connect with what I know? This keeps your mind active. If your attention drifts, gently bring it back. Everyone gets distracted sometimes. The key is noticing it and learning to refocus again and again. Attention is not automatic. It's a skill you build each time you refocus. Your attention becomes stronger and your memory becomes more reliable. Step 2. Understand before memorizing. If you don't understand something, it's very hard to remember it, no matter how many times you repeat it. Think about hearing a sentence in a language you don't speak. No matter how many times you hear it, it still means nothing to you. That's why understanding is like the foundation of a building. Without it, memory collapses easily. Strong understanding holds knowledge in place longer. When you study, ask yourself, what does this mean? Try to explain it in your own words. If you can't, you need clarity. Ask yourself, why is this important and how does it connect to what I already know? These questions build connections in your mind. Imagine your memory as a spider web. The more links you make, the stronger and wider your web becomes for catching and holding information. For example, when learning a new word, think about how you'd use it, what it reminds you of, or where you've seen it before. Use examples, videos, or ask for another explanation if needed. Break hard topics into small pieces. Understanding comes easier one step at a time. When you understand something well, it becomes more interesting. Your brain enjoys learning things that feel real, useful, and deeply connected to you. Understanding before memorizing turns learning from a hard task into something alive, meaningful, and easier to remember for the long term. Step 3. Use simple words and pictures. Don't try to remember complicated things exactly. Instead, turn them into something you already understand well. Rewrite complex sentences in your own words. Imagine explaining them to a friend. Simpler words help your brain store the meaning more clearly. Use mental pictures. Visual images help your memory. For example, to remember milk, apples, and bread. Picture a dancing apple loaf in milk. That image is silly, but it works. Your brain loves surprising and funny pictures because they stand out more than plain, boring facts ever could. You can also create little stories to remember ideas. Stories tie facts together with a beginning, middle, and end, making recall smoother and faster. Instead of memorizing details one by one, the story turns them into one complete memory with flow and logic your brain can easily follow. Learning becomes fun when you use creative images. Your brain feels excited and remembers better when it's enjoying the process of discovery. Always ask yourself, how can I say this more simply? And can I turn this idea into a picture or short story in my head? Step 4. Repeat often. Repetition is one of the most powerful ways to move knowledge from short-term memory into your long-term storage system. But repeating many times in one day isn't enough. The secret is spaced repetition, reviewing the same thing again after a gap of time. Think about how you learned your favorite song. You didn't repeat it all at once. You heard it again and again over several days. That process made the song stick in your brain naturally. This is exactly how spaced repetition works. Recalling knowledge after time strengthens your memory. Here's how to apply it. After learning something, review it the next day, then again a few days later, then again after a week. Each review trains your brain to recall the information better and faster. The memory becomes stronger each time you retrieve it successfully again. You don't need to study for hours. Even 5 minutes is helpful if it's spaced out. It's not about time, it's about timing. Spacing out your learning sessions allows your brain to organize the information and store it more deeply than cramming ever could. Make repetition a part of your routine. You'll soon remember things from last week, last month, even last year with less effort and more confidence. Step 5. Write it by hand. While typing is fast, handwriting makes learning more active. It forces you to think, choose, and focus deeply. When you write by hand, you must decide what's important. You process the meaning and guide your hand. This makes memory much stronger and clearer. Typing lets your brain stay passive, but handwriting activates more of your senses and mental energy, helping you engage fully with the material. Writing helps organize your thoughts. You see connections, find better explanations, and sometimes ask deeper questions that improve understanding even more. It's like walking a trail and leaving fresh footprints. The more times you walk it, the easier the path becomes to remember and follow. Use colorful pens, underline key ideas, or draw little pictures. These small tricks create strong visual markers your memory can use later. Handwriting triggers multiple senses. You feel the pen, see the words, sometimes even speak them softly. These combined inputs send stronger signals to your brain. Studies show handwritten notes improve memory better than typed ones even when you write less. The act of writing matters more than quantity. Make it a habit after reading. Write what you remember in your words. Neatness doesn't matter. Clarity and ownership of your ideas do. Old-fashioned as it may seem, writing by hand is still one of the most powerful tools to strengthen your memory and understanding. Step 6. Teach someone else. Teaching is not just for experts. When you explain what you learned, your brain processes it in a whole new way. To teach, you must remember, organize, and express the information clearly. That forces your brain to dig deeper and truly master the knowledge. Imagine reading a chapter and explaining it to a friend. You quickly notice what you understand and what still confuses you. That's valuable insight. Teaching reveals your weak points and helps you fill the gaps. The more you explain something, the clearer it becomes in your own mind. You don't need an audience. You can talk to yourself, your mirror, your pet. Even record your voice and listen back to reinforce learning. The key is expressing ideas out loud using your own words. That action makes memory more active, emotional, and long-lasting inside your brain. Teaching also makes learning meaningful. You feel like you're helping someone. That positive feeling motivates your brain to pay more attention and remember better. Every time you teach, even if it's small, you tell your brain, "This is important. and your brain responds by locking it in more deeply. So next time you learn something new, don't just keep it to yourself. Say it, share it, and make it your own through teaching. Teaching turns short-term memory into something real and personal. It builds confidence and makes knowledge a lasting part of who you are. Step 7. Use memory tricks. When facts feel too hard to remember, use mnemonic devices, simple mental tools that make learning fun, colorful, and easier. One trick is using the first letter of each word to create a sentence. For example, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. Violet, Richard of York gave battle. Now, instead of memorizing 7 random words, you just remember one strange sentence and your brain fills in the rest easily and happily. Rhymes and songs also work wonders. Think of how children learn the alphabet. Music gives rhythm and structure, and your brain loves those patterns. You can make your own rhymes for anything: vocabulary, dates, or processes. The sillier or more creative, the easier it is to remember. Pictures help. 2. If you're learning the word elephant in another language, imagine a giant pink elephant dancing in your kitchen. It sticks better. You can also build stories to remember facts. Each part of the story links to something you need, creating a natural flow for recall. Stories have beginnings, middles, and ends. This structure helps your brain organize and hold details longer than separate, unconnected facts ever could. Mnemonics work because they turn dry information into play. When learning becomes fun and weird, your brain gets excited and memory becomes effortless. Use these tricks when learning names, steps, lists, or definitions. Turn hard facts into rhymes, colors, images, or stories your brain enjoys holding. Step 8. Organize information. Just like a messy room is hard to navigate, a cluttered brain finds it harder to remember and retrieve facts. Your brain loves structure. Organized information is easier to find and recall. That's why sorting what you learn helps memory stay clean and sharp. Don't store facts as one long list. Group similar ideas. For example, organize vocabulary into themes, colors, food, emotions, so the brain sees connections. This method is called chunking. It breaks a big memory load into small, meaningful groups that are easier to store and remember later. Use tools like headings, bullet points, and diagrams. Think of them like road signs, showing the brain how one idea leads to the next. Diagrams and outlines give visual shape to ideas. They make notes easier to scan, so reviewing becomes faster and less stressful for your brain. Imagine your memory like a library. If books are organized by subject and author, it's easy to find what you want at any time. The same happens with knowledge. When you sort it well, you build mental shelves. Information becomes easy to retrieve when you really need it. Each review is a chance to organize better, combine topics, rewrite categories, or simplify your structure. This keeps your memory clear and flexible. Step 9. Use all your senses. The more senses you involve while learning, the deeper the memory sticks. Your brain builds stronger paths that way. Imagine learning a word and hearing it, writing it, speaking it, and touching the object. It's now connected by multiple sensory roads in your mind. Reading silently only uses your eyes. Try reading aloud to add your ears. That creates double input. Your memory gets a stronger grip on the idea. Listen to audio of the same content. Different voices, speeds, and tones help your brain layer the memory through variation and exposure. Use touch while learning. Write with your hand. Use colored pens or draw icons. Feeling motion and seeing color activates multiple brain regions together. When learning vocabulary about fruits, pick up a real apple or banana. Say its name. Feel its shape. Smell its scent. That physicality locks memory in. These small sensory layers make a big difference. When your brain has more paths to reach an idea, recall becomes faster and more reliable. Speaking out loud adds more strength. Explaining something uses voice, thought, and hearing. It makes memory sharper because your brain works in multiple ways. Learning through senses turns flat words into a full experience. When learning feels real, your brain holds on longer and your memory grows richer. So, whenever possible, involve sight, sound, touch, and speech. Even simple sensory tweaks can create lasting impressions in your brain's storage system. Step 10. Connect new with old. One of the best ways to remember something new is to link it with something you already understand and recall. Your brain builds memory networks, not islands. Every time you link ideas, you create stronger bridges so information doesn't float alone and get lost. Learning the word bicycle. Think about ride, pedal, wheel, then your own memories of cycling. These links help your brain hold and retrieve the word. It's easier to recall when the brain can approach from several directions: personal experience, similar words, or other knowledge you already trust. This isn't just for vocabulary. In science, connect new ideas to old lessons. When learning about the water cycle, remember clouds, rivers, and real rain. The more links you make, the more places your brain can go to retrieve the same piece of information from your memory map. Group knowledge also organizes better. Your brain prefers categories and webs over scattered facts. Connected knowledge lasts longer and becomes easier to use. Ask, "What does this remind me of?" Or, "Have I seen this before?" These small questions help build bridges that keep ideas rooted in memory. Step 11. Use mind maps. Mind maps turn information into a visual tree instead of lines of text. You see connections, branches, and structure clearly. Start by writing the main topic in the center, then draw branches out for key ideas. Add smaller details as twigs from each branch. This method helps your brain organize and see relationships. It's active, creative, and helps you think while learning. Not just copy notes passively, use colors for branches, draw symbols, or write in different styles. These visual tools make information stand out and become easier to remember later. Mind maps don't just store facts, they help you process them. By arranging your thoughts on paper, you clarify meaning and remember more easily. They're great for tests, planning, stories, or projects. Mind maps let your brain zoom out and see how everything fits together with logic and clarity. Using them often turns learning into a more visual and engaging process. Memory becomes easier because everything has a place, shape, and link. Step 12. Get enough sleep. Sleep isn't wasted time. It's when your brain saves and organizes what you learned. It's a powerful tool for memory. During deep sleep, your brain moves short-term knowledge into long-term storage. Without it, most learning fades or disappears before morning arrives. 7 to 8 hours is the ideal amount for most adults. Less than that, and your brain doesn't do its full memory-saving work. To improve sleep, avoid screens before bed, lower lights, stay away from caffeine, and keep your bedroom dark and peaceful for better rest. Sleep also resets your focus. A tired brain struggles to pay attention, process ideas, or recall details clearly. Rest is mental fuel for learning. When you study, plan time to sleep after. That rest locks your knowledge in and leaves your brain ready to absorb even more tomorrow. Never trade sleep for more study hours. You'll forget faster and retain less. Real learning sticks when followed by deep, uninterrupted rest. Step 13. Eat brain-friendly food. Your brain runs on fuel. The better your food, the clearer your thoughts and the sharper your memory becomes. Foods like berries, nuts, and fatty fish support brain health. They contain antioxidants and healthy fats that protect and energize brain cells daily. Blueberries, walnuts, and salmon boost memory and focus. Leafy greens like spinach or kale offer vitamins that slow decline and strengthen recall over time. Eggs are full of choline, which supports mental clarity. Colorful vegetables feed your brain with a wide range of protective nutrients and vitamins. Avoid sugar and junk food. They cause inflammation and energy crashes, which make concentration difficult and memory weak or scattered under pressure. A good diet strengthens both brain structure and function. What you eat today affects what you remember tomorrow, next week, or even years later. Step 14. Exercise regularly. Movement helps memory. It increases blood flow, delivers oxygen to your brain, and triggers growth of new brain cells. You don't need a gym or hard workouts. Walking, stretching, or dancing for 20 minutes can boost your learning and sharpen mental performance. Exercise also reduces stress and improves sleep. 2 major memory helpers. A relaxed, well-rested brain remembers better and stays alert longer. It's like pressing a refresh button for your brain. Even a short workout can lift your mood, sharpen focus, and clear mental fog immediately. Staying active protects your brain as you age. Regular movement lowers risk of memory loss, mental decline, and conditions like dementia or depression. The key is consistency. Make physical activity part of your daily rhythm, and your memory will grow stronger and clearer with every passing week. Step 15. Stay positive and motivated. Your mindset affects memory more than you realize. Negative thoughts can block focus and weaken your ability to remember. If you believe you're bad at learning, your brain gives up faster. But if you think, I can do this, your brain tries harder. Positive thoughts boost motivation. Motivation fuels effort. And when your brain feels encouraged, it stays alert, focused, and ready to store more information. Celebrate every small win. When you remember something, take a moment to feel proud. This emotional reward makes your brain mark it as important. Positive emotions make memory stronger. Your brain wants to repeat what feels good, so build confidence by noticing each success, no matter how small. If you feel frustrated, remind yourself that memory is a skill. Forgetting is normal. Progress comes from practice, not perfection. So, keep going patiently. Say, I'm learning, instead of, I can't do this. That small shift can help your brain stay open and eager instead of shutting down. Belief matters. Confidence boosts memory. When you trust your ability to learn, your brain follows your lead and helps you improve faster every time. Step 16. Practice mindfulness and meditation. A busy mind jumps constantly. That noise makes it harder to focus and remember what you're learning right now. Mindfulness means focusing on the present moment. It trains your brain to stop rushing and pay attention. This clear focus strengthens memory naturally. Meditation builds this ability. Just a few quiet minutes a day can sharpen attention, calm your mind, and prepare your brain for learning. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and focus on your breath. When thoughts wander, gently bring them back. This simple act builds mental clarity and control. Mindfulness reduces stress, which is one of the biggest enemies of memory. A calm brain absorbs information better and recalls it faster when needed. Over time, meditation improves concentration. You'll notice yourself staying focused longer during reading, studying, or listening, and remembering more afterward. Mindfulness turns learning into presence. It slows you down enough to see, hear, and feel information deeply instead of letting it pass too quickly. Add 5 minutes of stillness to your daily routine. It's a small habit with powerful effects on attention. Understanding and long-term memory growth. Step 17. Use technology wisely. Tools like flashcard apps and reminders help you study smarter, but only if you control how you use them each day. Spaced repetition apps like Anki or Quizlet remind you when to review. They make timing easier so memory becomes more efficient with less stress. Flashcards turn facts into active recall practice. Reminders keep your study sessions consistent. Note-taking apps help you capture, organize, and review ideas anywhere. Add voice notes, images, or highlights to make your digital notes richer. The more senses and structure you add, the more memorable they become. But beware of distractions. Phones and apps can pull attention away with messages, games, or social media, ruining your focus and weakening memory. Turn off notifications during study time. Use focus apps that block distractions. Technology should serve your brain, not steal its energy or attention. Use tech to track progress. Review smarter and store your ideas. But keep your attention clear and disciplined so your memory grows strong every day. Final thoughts. Remembering everything may sound impossible, but it becomes easier when you understand how memory works and train your brain correctly each day. Your brain is powerful, but needs the right care. With the 17 steps in this guide, you'll create stronger memory habits that last a lifetime. Start with full attention. Without focus, nothing sticks. Then understand deeply before you memorize. Your brain holds on to meaning more than meaningless words or facts. Next, use visuals. Write by hand and teach others. These turn information into experience, something your brain naturally remembers better and faster over time. Don't forget to repeat regularly. Spaced repetition is like memory training. A few minutes every few days is more powerful than hours in one sitting. Organize what you learn. Structure creates clarity. Mind maps, bullet points, and categories give your brain a clean system for storing and finding ideas. Fuel your brain with sleep, healthy food, and regular movement. A rested, nourished, and active brain works faster, remembers longer, and learns with joy. Mindfulness adds clarity. Just a few minutes of meditation sharpens your attention, reduces stress, and builds the mental calm needed for deep focus and recall. Technology helps when used right. Flashcards, reminders, and note apps boost learning, but only if you stay in control and avoid digital distractions. Stay positive. A confident mind remembers better. When you believe you can learn and improve, your brain responds with energy and focus that lasts. Every small step counts. Celebrate progress. Notice what you remember today that you forgot yesterday. Let that motivate you to keep going forward. No one is born with a perfect memory, but anyone can build one. With patience and consistency, your brain will change, adapt, and grow stronger. Pick just one tip today. Maybe it's repeating more often, writing by hand, or adding 5 minutes of meditation. Start small and build the habit. Soon, you'll notice learning becomes easier. Memory feels sharper, and you remember things without struggling. That's your brain responding to your training. So, keep going. Train your memory every day. Make it fun. Make it personal. Turn knowledge into a story, a picture, or a real conversation. You are not limited by your past habits. Your brain is alive, flexible, and ready to grow with every new effort you make from today. Take care of it, feed it well, move it often, and give it the rest it deserves. This is how you build lasting memory power. Learning isn't just about school, it's about life. The more you remember, the more confident, capable, and creative you become in everything you do. Your mind is your greatest tool. Use these 17 steps to shape it wisely, and it will serve you with clarity, strength, and insight for life. Have you ever stopped in the middle of your day, holding your phone, staring at a message you just received, and realizing you don't even remember what you read 1 minute ago. You scroll, you consume, you absorb. But when it truly matters, your mind is blank. Imagine walking into an exam, a job interview, or even a simple conversation in English, and suddenly your brain feels like an empty room. The words vanish, the knowledge disappears, and you stand there, powerless, embarrassed, wishing you had a secret switch to unlock your memory. Now let me ask you something even deeper. Are you really living your life? Or are you just passing through it without remembering the lessons, the beauty, the meaning? Because if you can't hold on to what matters, then what is the point of all this? Welcome, my friend. My name is Daniel, and today I'm going to take you on a journey into the hidden world of memory, how to master it, how to control it, how to keep every lesson, every word, every detail locked inside you forever. Because here's the truth. Your brain is not broken. You don't have a weak memory. What you have is untapped potential, sleeping inside, waiting for you to wake it up. This video is not just about remembering. It's about freedom. The freedom to learn English without forgetting. The freedom to remember every secret you read in a book, every step you take toward your dream, every idea that flashes in your mind at midnight. And I want to ask you right now, do you want that freedom? Do you want to carry knowledge like a sword in battle, sharp and ready, instead of dropping it like sand slipping through your fingers? Think about it. You say you want to improve your life. You say you want money, success, fluency, respect. But what did you do today to move closer to it? Did you waste another hour scrolling? Did you let another day vanish without planting a single seed in your future? I know what you feel. I know because I was once like you, lost, frustrated, full of ambition but empty of results. I remember staring at my books, repeating words again and again, only to forget them the next morning. I remember failing English exams, forgetting names of people I met, even forgetting why I walked into a room. And every time I failed, I hated myself more. But here's the twist. I discovered something, a set of hidden principles, secrets the world doesn't teach in schools, secrets that masters of memory, monks, and world champions use to store knowledge forever. And once I applied them, everything changed. I remembered English words without effort. I remembered entire speeches without notes. I remembered lessons from books like they were tattooed into my soul. And today, I will share those 17 secrets with you. But before I reveal them, I need you to feel this truth. Memory is not just about exams or jobs. It is about who you become. If you can remember everything forever, you can master any skill, win any opportunity, and live without fear of forgetting. Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You're sitting in a cafe. Someone asks you a question in English, and instantly the right words flow from your lips like a river. No hesitation, no fear, just fluency. Or imagine standing in front of a crowd, delivering a presentation, and every sentence comes out clear, sharp, alive. They look at you not as someone ordinary, but as someone powerful, because the one who remembers, rules, and that's why you are here. Not just to watch a video, not just to collect tips. You are here because deep down, you know you were made for more. You feel that fire, that whisper inside telling you, stop wasting your potential. Stop forgetting who you are. Stop letting life slip away. Because let me be brutally honest with you, time is killing you. Every day you forget, you lose another chance, another lesson, another door, and no one is going to come save you. No one is going to hand you the memory you need. It is you, my friend, only you. And tonight, right here, right now, I will give you the map. 17 secrets, 17 weapons, 17 unshakable steps to remember everything forever. Whether it's English words, names, books, dreams, or the very purpose of your life. But first, let me tell you about a man named Lucas. Lucas was like you, full of dreams, but stuck in the prison of forgetting. He studied English every night, wrote down lists of vocabulary, repeated them, forced them into his brain, but every morning, they were gone. He failed exams. He lost job opportunities. He was laughed at. He thought he was stupid. But Lucas wasn't stupid. He was simply untrained. And then one day, Lucas made a decision. He said, "Enough. I refuse to be a prisoner in my own mind." And that moment, that decision, was the spark that changed everything. He discovered the power of memory training. He discovered these 17 secrets. And once he applied them, his life flipped. Within months, he could recall hundreds of words, entire conversations, full chapters of books. He got the job. He gained respect. And most of all, he gained himself. I tell you Lucas's story because it could be yours. The only difference between Lucas and you right now is choice. Will you choose to stay the same, or will you choose to unlock the secrets that will make your memory eternal? Lucas's struggle wasn't unique. Maybe it sounds painfully familiar to you. He sat at his desk, surrounded by notebooks filled with English words, dates, facts. He repeated them like a machine, whispering them until midnight, writing them on sticky notes, plastering them on his wall. But in the morning, his mind was blank. The words had vanished like smoke every time he failed. A shadow whispered in his ear, "You're not good enough. You'll never remember. You'll never succeed." And maybe that shadow whispers to you too. Maybe you've told yourself the same lie. My memory is weak. I'm just not smart enough. But hear me clearly. This is not the truth. The truth is that memory is not about talent. It's about training. Nobody is born with the ability to remember everything. They build it. They practice it. They unlock it. Lucas's turning point came on a day he'll never forget. He was sitting in a crowded subway train, exhausted, holding a book he couldn't remember reading. He looked around and saw people scrolling, staring, sleeping, and he thought, is this it? Is this the life I want? To forget? To drift? To die without leaving anything behind? In that moment, he swore, "No more! I will master my mind, or I will die trying." That vow set him on a new path. He began searching. He read about memory champions, monks, polyglots who spoke 10 languages. He discovered their secret. Memory is a skill, not a gift. And slowly, he uncovered the 17 secrets that would set him free. Let me share with you the first. Secret 1. Association is everything. The brain does not remember boring data. It remembers images, emotions, and connections. If you try to memorize all apple as just apple, your mind resists. But if you imagine a giant red apple the size of a car crashing through your door while dripping honey, your brain wakes up. The stranger, the funnier, the more emotional, the stronger the memory. Lucas began doing this. Instead of memorizing lists, he turned words into wild pictures. Instead of forgetting, he laughed. And when he laughed, he remembered. Secret 2. The power of location. Imagine walking through your house. You can see every room, every object. That's because your brain is a master at remembering places. This is the memory palace technique, used by ancient Greeks, by monks, by Sherlock Holmes himself. Take what you want to remember and place it inside your house. A word, a name, a fact. Make it an object in your kitchen, your bedroom, your hallway. Walk through your palace, and the memory will be there waiting. Lucas built his first memory palace using his childhood home. Suddenly, words stuck, dates stuck, Entire speeches flowed like water. Secret 3. Emotion burns memory into the mind. Think about your life. You may not remember what you ate last Tuesday, but you remember where you were on the day you got your first heartbreak. You remember the moment someone told you they loved you or betrayed you. Why? Because memory is tied to emotion. If you want to remember something, make it emotional. Connect it with joy, fear, laughter, surprise. Lucas started attaching emotions to everything. English words became stories. History dates became battles. Formulas became epic adventures. And his brain lit up. And that's when he realized the problem was never him. The problem was the method. Schools taught him to memorize like a robot. Life taught him to think memory was random. But the truth? Memory is a fire, and you must feed it the right fuel. One night, as Lucas practiced, he felt something new, control, for the first time. He wasn't a victim of forgetting. He was a master of remembering. And that changed everything. Now pause with me. Imagine if you applied these first 3 secrets today. Imagine you didn't just try to memorize words, but you turned them into crazy images. Imagine you didn't just read, but you placed the knowledge inside your own memory palace. Imagine you didn't just study, but you infused every lesson with emotion. Wouldn't your brain explode with life? Wouldn't you feel unstoppable? Because here's the truth. You can. You can start right now. You can build your memory into a weapon that cuts through fear, through doubt, through time itself. But Lucas didn't stop there. He knew he was only scratching the surface. He wanted more. He wanted everything. And so he kept digging, discovering more secrets, each one more powerful than the last. One evening, sitting in a library with the smell of old paper filling the air, Lucas wrote down the words, "I will not forget who I am. I will not forget my dream." That line became his anchor. Every time he felt weak, every time he wanted to quit, he remembered it. Because memory is not just about facts, it's about identity. And Lucas was building a new one. Do you see what this means? Memory is not only about remembering vocabulary, or dates, or numbers. It's about remembering yourself, who you are, who you want to become. And when you train your memory, you're not just storing information, you're shaping your destiny. So let me tell you again, you are not broken. You are not stupid. You are not weak. You are untrained. And this video is your training ground. By the end, you will have the 17 secrets to remember everything forever. But only if you stay with me. Only if you don't click away. Don't give up. Don't let distractions steal this moment. Because right now could be the turning point of your life. So let's continue. Let's dive deeper into the next secrets. The tools that will turn your brain into an indestructible fortress of memory. Lucas's journey was just beginning. He had tasted victory, but he knew the mountain ahead was high. 3 secrets gave him hope. But hope is not enough. You need discipline. You need structure. You need relentless action. And so he pressed forward. Secret 4. Repetition with rhythm. Everyone says practice makes perfect. But practice without rhythm is dead. Your brain remembers in beats, in patterns, in cycles. Think of how you still remember the lyrics of a song from years ago. Why? Because music imprints memory. Lucas stopped repeating words like a robot and began chanting them with rhythm, tapping his desk, creating melodies. Suddenly, English vocabulary that had once escaped him danced in his mind like verses of his favorite song. Secret 5. Spacing is stronger than force. If you try to cram everything in one night, your brain rebels. But if you return to it tomorrow, and the next day, each time giving your brain a little rest, the memory roots itself. This is called spaced repetition, and it is the law of memory. Lucas learned to revisit his lessons at increasing intervals. Day 1, Day 3, Day 7, Day 14, and with each revisit, the knowledge became unshakable. Secret 6. Teaching locks the chain. You don't truly know something until you can teach it. When Lucas learned a new English word, he didn't just memorize it, he explained it out loud. As if teaching a student, he told stories, made examples, pretended his reflection in the mirror was his classroom, and every time he taught, the chain of memory grew stronger until it could no longer be broken. One night, while practicing, Lucas realized he could recall an entire page of words he had once failed to remember. He smiled, not because it was easy, but because he had finally discovered the truth. Knowledge is not meant to be hidden, it is meant to be shared. Secret 7. The body is the gateway. Memory doesn't live only in your brain, it lives in your body. When Lucas walked while repeating words, when he used hand gestures, when he physically acted out concepts, his memory exploded. Movement awakens the brain. Stillness suffocates it. And so he began walking every day with his lessons, turning the city streets into his classroom. Secret 8. Sleep is sacred. How many nights did Lucas once stay up, sacrificing sleep to force more words into his head? And how many mornings did he forget them all? Until he discovered this secret. Your brain does not store memory during study, it stores it during sleep. Every night, the brain organizes, rewires, strengthens the connections. Sleep is not rest, it is the final step of learning. From that day forward, Lucas treated his sleep like a ritual, and his memory became sharper than ever. Secret 9. Curiosity fuels retention. Think about the things you remember most. They are the things you wanted to know. No one forgets the details of a story that captured their heart, but boring data slips away. Lucas turned every subject into a question, every lesson into a mystery. Instead of asking, "How do I memorize this?" he asked, "Why is this important? How does it connect to me?" Curiosity made his brain hungry, and a hungry brain never forgets. Secret 10. Visualization creates permanence. The mind is an artist. It paints in pictures, not in words. If you want to remember justice, don't just write the word. Imagine a blazing sword striking a stone table. If you want to remember freedom, see yourself breaking chains in a storm. Lucas painted his lessons with wild imagination, and the more dramatic the picture, the more permanent the memory. By now, Lucas was unstoppable. He was no longer the boy who forgot words. He was the man who carried knowledge like fire in his chest. He began to stand taller, speak clearer, and walk into rooms with a quiet confidence that made people ask, "Who is he?" But let me pause here and speak to you directly, because this is not just Lucas's story, it is yours. You are standing at the same crossroads. You can continue forgetting, continue drifting, continue letting life escape you, or you can step onto this path, the path of memory mastery, the path of freedom. Do you understand what this means? Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You walk into a conversation in English, no fear, no hesitation. The words come alive. People listen, they respect you. Or imagine yourself opening a book and remembering every chapter, every lesson, every truth. You no longer read and forget, you read and own. This is the power Lucas discovered. This is the power you can claim, but only if you act, only if you take these secrets and use them. Lucas's transformation was not without struggle. There were nights when he wanted to quit, mornings when his old habits pulled him back. He doubted, he failed, he fell, but each time, he remembered the vow he made on that subway. "I will master my mind, or I will die trying." That vow burned in him like a torch, guiding him through the darkness. And here is the truth. You don't need perfect motivation. You need commitment. You don't need to feel ready. You need to start. Because waiting will not make your memory stronger. Action will. So, let us return to Lucas. By the time he unlocked these first 10 secrets, he was a new man. He could recall details from conversations, memorize presentations, and deliver speeches without notes. He began helping others, his friends, his classmates, his coworkers, and as he taught them, he realized something profound. Memory is not just about remembering, it is about living fully, without letting life slip through your fingers. And yet, the journey was not complete, because there were 7 more secrets, 7 final keys that would elevate his memory from strong to unbreakable, from human to legendary. Are you ready to hear them? Are you ready to finish this journey with Lucas and with me? Then hold on, because the next secrets will not only change how you remember, they will change who you are. Lucas had crossed a line of no return. He was no longer the man who once forgot everything. He was the man who remembered, but he knew there was more. He had 10 powerful secrets, and yet 7 more waited for him like hidden treasures. He pressed on. Secret 11. Focus like a warrior. The mind cannot hold on to what it never fully receives. Lucas discovered that distraction was the true thief of memory. Every notification, every glance at his phone, every restless thought scattered his focus. So he began training his mind like a warrior, practicing deep focus. 10 minutes of pure concentration gave him more memory than hours of scattered study. He realized memory begins not with recall, but with attention. Secret 12. Stories stitch everything together. Humans are not machines built for numbers. We are storytellers. Lucas stopped memorizing isolated facts and began weaving them into stories. Instead of remembering water, fire, earth, air, he imagined 4 brothers standing at the gates of the world. Suddenly, abstract data became living characters in his mind, and once he told himself the story, he could never forget it. Secret 13. Anchors in reality. To remember something forever. Tie it to your real life. Lucas didn't just memorize English words. He used them in conversations, in journals, in prayers, in thoughts. Every time he connected knowledge to his daily world, the memory became an anchor. The more real it was, the harder it was to forget. Secret 14. The power of review in silence. At night, before sleeping, Lucas would close his eyes and replay his day like a movie. He reviewed the names he heard, the words he learned, the lessons he lived. Silence became his classroom. By reviewing in stillness, he carved the lessons deeper into his soul. Secret 15. The fuel of belief. If you believe you forget, you will. If you believe your memory is weak, it will obey. But if you believe you can hold knowledge forever, your brain begins to act differently. Lucas replaced his old belief, I am forgetful, with a new one. My memory is limitless. And with that shift, his results multiplied, because the brain follows the mind, and the mind follows belief. Secret 16. The environment of memory. Your surroundings speak to your brain. Lucas discovered that certain places, smells, and even sounds helped him recall better. He created a sacred space for study, free from chaos, lit with calm light, filled with focus. The moment he entered, his brain knew this is where memory happens, and the environment became a silent teacher. Secret 17. Passion is permanence. Above all, Lucas learned this. If you don't care, you won't remember. But if something matters to you, truly matters, it becomes eternal. When he tied his studies to his dream of freedom, of success, of becoming more than he was, every lesson became sacred. Passion burned the knowledge into his mind. Passion turned memory into forever. 17 secrets. 17 steps, 17 doors that once seemed locked, now wide open, and Lucas had walked through every one of them. The climax of his journey came on a day he will never forget. He stood before a crowd, asked to give a presentation without notes. The old Lucas would have trembled, stammered, forgotten every word. But the new Lucas? He closed his eyes for 1 second, walked into his memory palace, and the words poured out of him like fire. The crowd was silent, listening, captivated. When he finished, they erupted in applause, and in that sound, Lucas felt something shift forever. He was no longer a prisoner of forgetting. He was free. Now, let me ask you, what would your moment look like? Maybe it's speaking English fluently with confidence. Maybe it's remembering every book you read. Maybe it's standing in front of others and sharing knowledge without fear. Whatever it is, that moment can be yours. But only if you choose to step into the secrets you've just learned. Because here is the raw truth. You don't get another life. Time is passing. Every day you forget, every day you drift, is a day you never get back. The question is not, can you do this? The question is, will you? And I want you to remember something deeper than memory itself. Your dreams do not care about your excuses. They do not care how tired you are, how busy you are, how distracted you are. Your dreams only care about results. And if you want results, you must master your mind. You must master your memory. So here it is. The final lesson. Your memory is not just about what you know. It is about who you become. To remember everything forever is to live without limits. To remember everything forever is to own your story, your power, your destiny. Lucas's story is proof. My story is proof. And your story is waiting to be written. So what will you do now? Will you close this video and forget it like 1,000 other videos before? Or will you act? Will you take these 17 secrets and carve them into your life until your memory becomes unstoppable? The choice is yours. But if you are ready, if you are serious, then begin today. Start with the first secret. Build your palace. Tell your stories. Anchor your knowledge. Believe, and above all, tie everything to your passion, because passion is the fire that will carry you forever. And before I leave you, let me give you one final truth to carry in your heart. Your mind is the only thing in this world that cannot be taken from you. Money can vanish, jobs can disappear, people can leave, but your mind, if you master it, will carry you through every battle, every storm, every dream. So don't waste it. Don't let it slip. Don't die with your knowledge buried inside you. Remember us everything. Live fully. Become unstoppable. And if you want to keep walking this path with me, if you want more lessons that will shape your mind, your memory, your destiny, then subscribe right now. Join me, and together we will build a life worth remembering. Because at the end of your days, you will not be judged by what you forgot. You will be remembered for what you carried, what you lived, and what you gave to the world. So choose today. Choose to remember. Choose to rise. Choose to live forever in the power of your own mind.